There are two ways that you unlock barriers to drive more digital or better digital results. The first one is to repurpose funds from commission and recapitalise it into your sales marketing budget, so you can actually go it alone and drive more marketing activity in the market to drag in customers into your hotel. The other one is to make sure that you've resized your sales marketing team so that it's actually accounting for the different revenue flows and how much they contribute into your hotel. I want to focus on repurposing commission expenses to begin with. The issue that I constantly find, and it's common with every hotel and resort that I know in the world, is that what we look at doesn't actually paint the true picture of what's going on in a hotel. And two things I want to focus on here. The first one is, we are terrible at understanding the limitations of a P&L. And we are terrible at measuring how much share of purchase we receive from our guests, what we refer to as net RevPAR. The P&L is focused on the hotel, but it's only limited to the cash and the operations going into the hotel. And here is the great risk that we don't understand. And I'll point it out as thus. A lot of OTAs actually take away the commission and give you the naked rate before it goes into your hotel's operation. So the commission cost is actually not accounted for in the hotel P&L. I've had conversations with owners whereby on the P&L, their commission expense is about $120,000 over the course of a year. And I sat down with them and I've told them, in actual fact, your commission expense is over $500,000. And I can guarantee you, you will get your owner's attention if you work out the true commission that you are paying to OTAs or to wholesalers as well. So actually take account for the true commission that is you are paying for, in regards to getting these bookings into your hotel, not just what's on your P&L. So in this example, and this is how they operate, Booking.com does give you the rate with commission, so it does get accounted onto your P&L. But the rest of the main players and OTAs actually take their commission away. So what happens is you get a net rate. It looks like a lower rate than Booking.com, but it ends up pretty much to be the same rate. But their commission expense is actually hidden from the owner's viewpoint. Yeah. So if you add up the bookings and their ADR, which is pretty simple to do for every single hotel, and multiply it by their commission rate, you'll actually come up to their true commission for a hotel, and it can actually be significantly more than what's on your hotel P&L. The other interesting thing to do is actually work out how much you're paying per booking, because the commission expense is per room night. So you need to times the commission expense by the average length of stay to understand how much you're paying to get one booking into your hotel. And it's actually quite illuminating, and it drives a benchmark for your owner to invest money to you. If I went to an owner and said, Mr. Smith, the average cost per booking through an OTA is $32. If you gave me some money and I got a booking under $32, I think that is fair, because you're actually paying that right now to an OTA. And that, I find that is the general agreement that I get from an owner. Okay, I'm willing to invest. I understand that I'm paying now. I now understand I'm paying about $32. Therefore, I'm willing to invest. Let's walk through this journey together. This is the best way to get more money from your owner to invest in the digital space. So in summary, you just need to make sure that your owner understands the size and scale of the revenue opportunity. It is in no P&L, it is in no daily report, it is in nothing that you currently use. You have to step back and have a look at the environment outside your current data sets to actually understand what's really going on in your market. You need to pledge a test period. No owner is going to give you $500,000 and walk away for a year and then come back at the end of the year and go, how did you do? You need to increase the frequency of your touch points with your owner, make it a weekly meeting, daily if it has to be, or twice a month. You need to agree it with your owner to focus on specifically what you're doing in the digital space, and if you're actually working out to get bookings underneath that benchmark of what you're paying to an OTA. There are different risk levels of what type of digital activity you do, and we'll speak about that later in this course or this workshop, about the different risk levels associated with revenue managing and closing out channels, going for new markets or penetrating existing markets. Again, aim to get bookings at less than the cost of the OTAs. If you are getting more bookings at a higher cost than the OTAs, your value proposition to your owners is going to diminish pretty quickly. And meet with your team frequently as well, okay? This requires cooperation and alignment between sales, between marketing and revenue management. They all need to work together to drive the best outcome for your hotel and make sure that your owner is on board and you're answering all the questions that they bring. Speaking of questions, this is a list of questions that I commonly get when I do this type of pitch to an owner. How would you spend my money? How would you ensure that I'm getting an equal return on investment? Who would do the work and manage it? So if you get a new digital person, you have to make sure that they've got the right credentials and they have the trust of the owner. What media tactics would they employ? And how do we not interfere with other initiatives? Right. So are you doing the return on investment? Are you calculating the return on investment without letting other things interfere with this program? And how would we track revenue is very, very important. In summary, your business mix has changed rapidly over the last 5 years, even more so in the last 10 years. It is vastly different than what's happened in the traditional way a hotel got revenue. There is less revenue through traditional sales channels, more coming through digital. Channel costs vary greatly. You can pay up to 25% at least in some OTA categories. With wholesale, you can pay 30% commission or even higher with override commissions as well. So sometimes we are letting the last room in our hotel be sold for $100 or be sold for $60 or $70. Now, and we let that happen. We let that happen, and that variance of 30% can actually have a huge impact on the bottom line. There is a place and scope for digital activity, regardless if you're in a resort or if you're in a city, if you're a branded hotel or an independent. You can always do more to drive more guests into your hotel at the highest rate with the lowest commission costs. And that's it.